to another video from MTE Equipment Solutions. My name is Eric, and today we're going to talk about the process that you'll need to undergo in order to winterize your Husqvarna autonomous mowers. Obviously, you're not going to be doing a lot of mowing when there is snow on the ground. So, when there's snow on the ground and you're not going to be using your autonomous mowers, you're going to want to store them inside in a warmer, drier place away from the winter weather. Now, this process isn't just as simple as picking up your mower and bringing it inside, because really there are three parts of your autonomous mowing system that you need to make sure are prepared for winter in slightly different ways. There is your autonomous mower itself, there is the charging station, and there is the ePOS reference station. Let's start by going over what you're going to want to do for the mower itself. For the mower, the first thing you're going to want to do is ensure that the battery is fully charged before you store it for the winter. This will ensure that it will still have some charge left by the time you plug it back in the springtime. You're also going to want to make sure that you have marked the location of your mower's associated charging station and the serial number of which mower goes to which charging station if you have more than one. Next, you'll want to give your mower a good deep clean. We recommend blowing it out with some air, and if you can take this top off to really deeply clean everything under there, then that would also be a good idea. But you don't want to be putting this mower away with a whole bunch of buildup or any moisture that is going to seep in throughout the winter. The next thing that you're going to want to do is replace your full set of blades and screws, as this will ensure that you have no chance of anything corroding and seizing in place. And of course, before you finally set your mower in for the winter, make sure that you give it a full inspection. Make sure that everything moves as it should, there's not any moisture, and there's not any significant buildup anywhere that's going to cause problems as it sets in over the winter. You want to make sure this is ready to be stored in a way that when you pick it up again, there won't be any problems. Now, when you're moving one of these mowers to its storage location, if the storage location is within your mower's geofence, you don't have to worry about deactivating it. However, if you're going to be moving it somewhere that is outside of the geofence boundary for your mower, you are going to want to go into your account on Automower Connect, go to your Automower settings, and deactivate the mower so that if you bring it more than 500 meters outside of your job range, you're not going to start blaring off an alarm. That would be horrifically inconvenient. After you have deactivated your auto mower, if necessary, you will want to turn the mower completely off and then store it in a warm, dry place. You need to store this somewhere above freezing so that you don't degrade the batteries or any of the other components, but as long as you've got it somewhere with some heat, that should be fine. And again, make sure it's dry. After you've got it in your storage location, either store it flat just like this or on a Husqvarna auto mower wall hanger. Now, for winterization, it is not necessary to remove your entire charging station. If you move your charging station, you will have to reset your charging station the following season. In order to winterize your charging station, you just need to bring in the power supply. So ensure that you've got this somewhere that it's accessible, and bring this in and any associated cabling or wires, and make sure that you've got something covering those different connectors so that you don't have any corrosion that gets in there and causes problems for connectivity in the future. Now, this thin, stiff black and white cabling that actually runs from the power supply can remain in the field if it is inaccessible, buried, or fastened to different infrastructure in the field. This can stay out, but make sure that you seal off both ends of the connectors and that anything that might get snagged or caught on something or dug up or plowed over is completely secured in a safe area. As a note, you do not actually need to remove the ePOS reference station in order to winterize your setup. It is weatherproof and can remain connected year-round. We do recommend that if you leave it out during the winter, you ensure that it remains connected to the power supply at all times, and that the connectors between the reference station and the power supply are all sealed from all moisture. If you do want to store your ePOS reference station for the winter, you would do so following these steps. Remove the power supply for your ePOS reference station. So ensure that you've got this somewhere that you can take it out, and then seal off any loose connectors that are left. If you have multiple reference stations on your property, you're going to want to make sure that you have the number and location for each reference station recorded. Otherwise, it will mess up all of your mapping projects. For that reason, you also don't want to take down the entire mounting hardware of your reference station, because if you reinstall your reference station slightly differently, that will shift your projects slightly. So if you want to have a seamless reinstall, make sure that you keep this portion and what it is mounted to in the same location. all you need to take off is the reference station itself. In order to remove the reference station from the bracket, you will loosen this T20 torque screw on the bottom that secures it to the bracket, and then make sure that you have unplugged from the low voltage cabling running from the power supply, and you will pull the reference station carefully off the bracket. Once you have it separated off the bracket, mark down where it came from and its number if you haven't already, and you can store it and it'll be ready for when you want to put it back in the springtime. Just like the Automower itself, once you have the reference station off of its bracket, you will want to store this in a warm, dry place above freezing for the winter, and then when you want to reinstall it in the spring, assuming you've done everything correctly, it should be a seamless reinstall and you won't have to remap your jobs. Now, when you're storing this, make sure that you're storing it somewhere that this antenna is not going to take a bend. After you've winterized your Husqvarna autonomous mower appropriately, and if you store it correctly all winter, it should be a seamless reinstall in the spring, and you should not need to do any new mapping or correct any errors. So there you have it, a quick little guide on winterizing your autonomous mowing setup from Husqvarna. So if you have any questions about how to do this process or any particular needs related to it, go ahead and hit us up in the comments down below or send us an email, and you can visit our website to find more ways to contact us at www.mte.us.com. Once again, this has been MTE Equipment Solutions. My name is Eric, and I will see you in the next video from MTE Equipment Solutions.